Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. If you're watching this video, go ahead and drop a like because likes are more important than anything on YouTube. Today, I will be bringing you guys my predictions for the men's open division at the 2022 Arnold Classic. And this was the competitors list at the beginning, but we have lost Rafael Brandao. He said he wanted to take a little more time off to grow, but we should see him at the Arnold Brazil. Cedric McMillan is out of this show with esophagus issues, really unable to put down a lot of food right now. Muhammad Shaban had a back injury. Akeem Williams had the virus a couple of days out, so he is out of the show as well. And Nathan D'Asha had a bicep injury. So this lineup is still incredible, guys, but it definitely would have been even better with all of those guys in the lineup. So to the ones that are sick and injured, hopefully they get better soon and we're able to see them on stage later this year. But without further ado, guys, here are my predictions for the men's open division at the Arnold Classic. And in ninth place, I have Fabio Rezende. And this is a Brazilian guy. He actually turned pro last year at the Arnold Amateur. So if you win the Arnold Amateur, you actually get an invitation to the following year's Arnold Classic. And a lot of people are thinking that you automatically go to the Arnold Classic because we have guys like Andrew Jack doing the Arnold Amateur, but you will have to wait an entire year. But Fabio may have put on some size in his time and he may be more competitive. In eighth place, I have Max Charles. Now, in all honesty, the guy that I have in the seventh place next to Max, I believe is going to be a very great battle between them. And I do believe that Max Charles can move up higher than this. Honestly, Max is really underrated, guys. I don't know if you guys remember, but he placed third in Chicago. So right after Hunter Labrada and Bret Wilkin, we had Max Charles. But Max is very hard, grainy, and I'm very excited to see the package that he's going to bring to the stage. And in seventh place, I have Sendata. Now, this actually may be a tough one for some of you guys, but in all honesty, I just believe Samson is going to get out-muscled in his lineup. Now, once Samson puts on 10 or 15 pounds of muscle, he'll be pretty much undeniable. But as far as right now, I just don't think Samson has the delts or the back to hang with some of these guys. Now, with him being an amazing poser that may be able to move him up some, I'm not exactly sure about that. But once again, guys, Samson is pretty aesthetic. And I wouldn't say he looks like a classic bodybuilder, but this is a bodybuilding show, guys. This isn't an aesthetic show, which is nothing against Samson Data at all. But hopefully Samson shocks me and places higher than this. But I do have Samson in seventh place. And in sixth place, I have Regan Grimes. Now, this was a tough one for me, guys. I really wanted Regan to do well at this show, which he may still do. I really wanted to have Regan as high as maybe top 3. And I'm excited to see the package that him and Milos are going to bring to the stage. Now, Regan also had the virus at about 6 weeks out from this show. And honestly, he was looking a little off track. But with his recent update, seems like him and Milos have put it back together. And he's going to bring an amazing package to this stage. Now, Regan brings a lot of detail and he's very wide. So a couple of guys that I have ahead of him, he could definitely edge them out. I have Regan in 6th in my predictions, but Regan can probably place as high as 4th in a lineup like this. Regan getting compared to Bret would be an amazing call-out. And in 5th place, I have Justin Rodriguez, which was also a tough one for me, guys, because I believe Justin can place as high as 3rd in a lineup like this. But honestly, just going into the show, the couple of guys that I have ahead of him just have a couple of details that Justin doesn't have. Now, this showing that you guys are seeing from the Mr. Olympia, I honestly believe this was Justin's worst showing of the year. If he would have brought the package from Indy of New York, I believe he may have could have edged out of Ian Valliere. Now, I am expecting Justin Rodriguez to bring his best package to this Arnold Classic to date. But 5th place is just where I believe he will fall. Justin is a top 8 Olympian. He placed 4th last year, dropping one spot. Wouldn't be too bad. But once again, I hope Justin can shock me. And these next 3 guys are really going to be fighting. And in 4th place, I have Steve Kuclo. Now, Steve is a guy I would have had a little higher in this lineup, but I just don't believe that Steve has the separation to stand with some of these guys ahead of him. Now, Steve did say he will be coming in smaller and lighter, so he may have a little more separation. But honestly, this isn't a knock against Steve. Just looking at his showings throughout his career, Steve has never really just had deep separation. So the guys I have ahead of him are just more separated, more round. However, I do believe that Steve being a very huge guy, I believe he was like 290 pounds on the Texas stage, but being huge and ripped in a bodybuilding show, Steve is going to do very well. So I think 4th place is a good placing for him. And in 3rd place, I have the Butcher, Bret Wilkin. Now, guys, even though these are my placings, I do believe that Bret Wilkin, Justin Rodriguez, and Steve Kuclo would be an amazing call out. So I do believe that all three of those guys will fight for third. But honestly, guys, Bret was pretty close to Hunter Labrada at the Chicago Pro. Honestly, Bret could have if the win at Chicago would have went to Bret, I don't think too many people would have been upset. And honestly, Bret Wilkin with a little more muscle, I honestly believe he would have beat Hunter Labrada in Chicago. And I know this is bodybuilding logic, and it doesn't mean too much. Now, it's very hard for me to put Bret over some of these veterans because, as you guys know, the veterans have been there. They've already been on the Olympia stage. But I believe that Bret is going to shock the world. I believe he's going to bring a package not similar to the package that Nick Walker brought, but he's going to shock the world somewhere in the same way that Nick Walker did. He isn't going to win the show, or maybe he could, guys. Who knows? And in second place, I have the Conqueror, William Bonac. Now, I actually checked out someone's video yesterday, a very credible bodybuilding source, and they didn't even have William Bonac in the top 6, which is very questionable for me. And a lot of people are expecting Bonac to drop. But with Bonac's recent physique updates and William Bonac working with Chad Nichols, I do believe that he is going to bring an amazing package to this Arnold Classic, and I'm very excited to see. Honestly, with the last update that he just posted as I'm making this video, you guys haven't seen it yet, maybe William Bonac could come in and win this Arnold Classic, guys. Chad and William are going to bring a very impressive package. And if you guys didn't know, William Bonac was quarantining for like 2 weeks before the Mr. Olympia, and I don't even believe that he was able to train. And he was also doing his own protocols at the time. He didn't have a coach at all. But excited to see what William does, and hopefully he's able to challenge the top guy for the title. And winning the 2022 Arnold Classic, I mean, is it really a surprise, guys? Brandon Curry, Mr. Olympia, and he has already won an Arnold Classic. He will be winning his second Arnold Classic this weekend. And honestly, guys, I don't believe Brandon can be beat. I would be very, very surprised if someone stacks up very nice next to Brandon. Now, William Bonac is going to stack up well. Of course, his legs do look like they've gotten better, so he may be able to give Brandon a run for his money. As well as Bret Wilkin, we don't know how he's going to stand next to these guys, but from what we're seeing online, Bret looks like he could be able to match up with these guys. Not beat them, but he could be able to match up with these guys. But honestly, I think Brandon's just going to be overwhelming. Brandon is a Mr. Olympia winner. You know, we have guys in this lineup that haven't been on the Mr. Olympia stage. We have guys that are attempting to win the Arnold Classic. Brandon has won the Arnold Classic. Brandon has been at the peak of our sport. So I really don't think anyone doesn't have Brandon winning this show. But let me know in the comment section below if you guys think anyone can knock out Brandon Curry at this 2022 Arnold Classic. I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video, man. My predictions have been so up and down. They pretty much changed by the hour. Drop a like and a sub on the channel as well. If you would like to support anything I'm associated with, is in the description below. I'm out.